There were startling words from court today as notorious escaped inmate Casey White spoke out at his own sentencing. White sparked a national manhunt last year when he escaped from an Alabama jail. His corrections officer, Vicky White, helped him escape and then went on the run with him. The two had been having an affair while he was behind bars. Vicky shot herself as police were closing in, but Casey was caught and today heard his fate for the felony escape charge. NewsNation's senior national correspondent Brian Entin was at the courtroom today as White spoke out. And Brian, this comes out just after White called you on the phone from jail to talk to you.
Yeah, it's certainly been an interesting week. First getting that phone call that we reported, and then being in the courtroom today. He was sentenced to life in prison on that escape charge. We also heard him speak for one of the first times. He stood up. He's a very tall man, so that in itself was interesting. He's about 7 feet tall, so he sort of stood over the entire courtroom and said that him and Vicky were in love, that they essentially had a love affair that went back quite a while, that she was the only one who ever listened to him in jail and ever heard his story and ever hugged him. And he said that the only thing she was ashamed of is that she disappointed her family. But he looked right at Vicky's family, who was in the front row, and apologized. And right after that, the judge sentenced him to life, Elizabeth.
He explained it all in his statements, why she killed herself while he was able just to walk away from this, sort of car running off the road as police surrounded them.
He didn't. And of course, having covered this from the beginning, that's always one of the questions that I had, what was really going through Vicky's head. Of course, he can now say what he wants to say.
Right.
We'll never really hear her side of the story. His attorneys did speak after court, though. They still blame Vicky. They say essentially she's the one who had the key. They had a press conference after the sentencing wrapped up. Listen to what they had to say.
It's not all on Casey. It's two-way street, folks. I mean, she had the keys to the jail. She's a sweet, kind woman, but like I said before the judge, he didn't have the keys. He was in a cage. She had the keys. Some people may say that, she had the keys to his freedom and he had the keys to her heart. Maybe they would. Maybe that's it. I don't know. But be that as it may, that's we all saw it. And like I said to the judge, I don't, y'all try to figure it out.
And this really is a case, Elizabeth, that's got this entire community still perplexed because everybody knew Vicky White. She was an upstanding member of the community. Even the deputies outside the courthouse, one of them came up to me before the hearing and said, Vicky was my boss for years. She was such a good woman. She was so respected. She loved her job so much. No one here can figure out exactly still what was going through this woman's mind, that she basically threw all of that away.
Or what hold that White might have had over her. I mean, it's awfully convenient for White's lawyers to stand outside and blame her because she's no longer here to defend herself or explain herself. Right. It's just so bizarre. So, he called you on the phone to confess to a murder that his own lawyers say never happened. Have we been able to figure out what that phone call to you was all about? Was he just making this up? Was he just trying to get your attention?
It seems he was making it up, Elizabeth. That's the best indication because police say he basically confessed to me a murder in Evansville, Indiana, when they were on the run, said that he killed a woman and never buried the body. Police say there's no reports of that. We did open records requests just to be sure and weren't able to find anything. We don't know if he's just trying to muddy the waters. He's got another murder trial coming up in August. Is it possible he's just trying to sort of muddy things going into that? Some say he wants to move prisons. It was still a very bizarre phone call, though. Listen to Casey White on the phone with me.
Did you kill someone else?
Yes, it's a dead body up there that ain't been buried yet. I think that's that big. And I won't talk to nobody but the FBI that handles that interview in Evansville, Indiana.
When was the person killed?
When I made Vicky was in the hotel.
So, again, I'm still sort of processing how all of that went down. It'll be interesting to see his next trial in August, the murder of a woman named Connie Ridgway. He confessed to that murder, then recanted the confession. So perhaps he's, again, trying to muddy the waters going into that.
Or maybe he's just crazy. I don't know. Either way, he's going to be in prison for a very long time. He's got, one life sentence and another murder trial coming up. So Brian, thanks so much. Really bizarre story.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.